many exciting moments what we can check out, I'm pretty sure. This is London system. I choose to play this move order. Very, very well prepared. It's Queen b6 line. Here, Bishop f5 is also number 1 by engine. You have knight bd2 is not let black to play Queen b6 so early. Now white is in trouble after the head. Wait, something. No. I clicked twice. Alright, so because of bishop f5 deflection and because of dropping our rook, there we go. We're not so flexible with the queen, and here we go. In this situation, who is capturing first the queen, he's going to be in trouble. Because we gotta push b5 to b4. Yeah, good job by girls, because they miss, I think, Drovish match against Ukraine. Maybe we can check out the girl who missed to make a very, very simple draw in the rook game. By spectators, one more time, it's very simple, but when you play, it's full of adrenaline, and especially when you play a team championship, and it's Olympiad, one of the biggest ever event in the world of chess. There is a huge stress. Probably girls couldn't care, but I felt that stress years ago, so I know the feeling that it's not only the chess like a factor. You need to stay calm, you need to have enough patience to play in the chip. So she had about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This is the case. There is a rook game. She had been pawned down, and it was a very theoretical draw. Like rook could stay in front of the a pawn, very, very fast as possible. King could keep the pressure of the other pawn, f5, and then the black king stay on the backstage, and he cannot really cross the 6th rank. I can maybe show you the situation. So if we made a draw and not losing that, we beat, I think, Mrs. Buxa on the last board. First board, Sergey Salimova did an excellent draw against Maria Mutschuk, former world champion. They have 2 former world champions in that Ukraine team, Anna Oshenina and Maria Mutschuk. Yeah, their coach is, by the way, I had few sessions with him in the past. He's quite good, quite positive person. He's a young grandmaster, I know him very well. But yeah, sometimes you need a little bit more. I think they're doing a great job. 3 out of 3 for the first time in their life in the Olympiad. I think they're doing a great job. Sometimes, even when world champion is not playing close to you, maybe you could even play better. Who knows? But of course, that will be a huge support if you're board 2 or board 3, not board 1. I think Salimova is doing an excellent job. She's the most experienced ever player also. She's playing very often in the open tournaments and so on. Yeah. A lot of confusion. Yeah, one of the biggest events. Hey, Paolo. No, currently I'm analyzing 5 rounds match against Nikola Stoysin. It's explaining here that in London system, who is capturing first the queen is not really good. A3 didn't really help in this case because b5, b4 is unstoppable. This rook is under pin, and whatever you're doing, I push. Whatever you capture, I capture back. We go. So whatever you're doing does really work well here. It's the same rule for the black. If black first capture, there we go. Gonna be ready soon to capture and push to the end. That's a huge pressure on the queen side part. Huge space for white side. So currently these rules about double pawns doesn't work. That's why I used to play first knight e2. Of course, bishop f5 now is working. The same trap with the queen b6 is not anymore working because we simply eat the bishop. Rook is not anymore trapped. And I guess we can simply play rook somewhere. Rook b1, rook d1. The best move is a queen b1. There we go. And kick out the queen by force development. Yes, black is having some kind of compensation, two pawns around for the piece down, but it's not enough. Piece is a piece. Hey, hey, Mr. Proper, how are you doing? I have my tea, I have my coffee. Today I'm gonna drink all day tea. I got up at 5:30, this is the curious thing. And I don't know, it cost me time to make a tea for the all day. Hot main strategy, Wagner strategy. Poker off? No, currently not. Why? Hey, Beto Beto, didn't see you a long time ago. Yes, thank you for the wishes. So this strategy is not anymore winning for black. Nikola first moved the bishop out, which is the precise continuation. Yeah, it's 7 a.m. now. I got up at 5:30, so... But I feel good because all week I go to bed around 3 a.m. and yesterday I go to bed at 11 p.m. So I'm very, very fresh though. Queen b6. Queen b6 currently is not good move. There is a one big reason about that, because we simply take on c5 based on the fact that he cannot capture back. Stay here. The correct move for black could be, we could check out both perspectives. The correct move for black should be either queen c8, either queen d7. Both are working. Now, of course, white could simply jump in the center, followed by that pin. So, but nothing so advantage for white side, because simply eliminate me. And maybe again trying to push b5 to b4. Queen a3 doesn't really work because this monster gonna go out after e5, and even queen could be trapped. For instance, queen a4 again is not that genius because the main approach of black is a queenside pressure. So this will be kind of help. Don't help to your opponent. Only if he's your best friend, then you can do it. But b5 to b4 anyway is coming, and queen a4, how is helping? b5, it's a force pushing b5 to b4, so it's a huge help for black. Forcing way attacking us. That's why the most safety one will be simply go home back, e1. What's the idea of that? The center is already kind of closed. There are about several ways how to deflect the center. Basic pawn d5 being under attack after e4. It's a deflection because counterattack of c4. But black can hurry up to push b5 now. Another very important square in every single London system is e5 weak square, so we can directly jump there. So I can simply confirm that this is the best scenario for the both sides, white and black system. Pretty playable, pretty equal game. To beat me 1,000 times in chess. Hey, Mr. Proper. Yeah, if you donate $1,000, it is possible to play 1,000 games. I have a play 100 bullet games, and it was terrible. 100 bullet games cost me too much time against Goku, and it was a totally crazy match. So 1,000 times in chess is also too much. Hey, Captain Logis, cheers, cheers. Today I was explaining that I'm gonna drink 5-6 cups of tea. I prepared my tea. Got up at 5:30 for some point, and we're gonna drink tea and coffee. Unique combination. Tea and coffee. Okay, you can donate less, it's okay. But yeah, 1,000 games are too much, man. We're gonna play all day, all night, and we cannot still finish them until my vacation starting next week. Okay. So I'd hot recommend, if Nikola is having a tournament, to use to play this variation, not the Queen b6. Queen b6 is incorrect. I was meeting this position 2 times in my previous OTB tournament, and I know very well that this is the best continuation. Round 2, I used to play knight takes b3. Let's explain in a short way why knight takes b3. Simply covering the pawn is not that good, because soon black will come after a5, a4, and will deflect, overload my knight from this protection, and black gonna stay pretty comfortable in the center. So after a5, bishop b5, this is still working. And after several maneuvers of the knights, I'm pretty sure black stay quite solid. After f6, it's a good pawn chain against the bishop, and the c5 is in his pocket. At that point, this fantastic counter-attack in the center of black side could bring him in advanced advantage, definitely. So I cannot do so much to block out a5 to a4. I can try to push a4, but now there are about plenty of weaknesses. And still, move like knight e4 is coming, double attack here, twofold attack. The knight d7, twofold attack, so I don't have a second defender, so I simply lose c5, I simply lose the center, I simply lose everything. Move like rook d1 here, attacking could be easy met by bishop c2, so position is not that simple as you think so. Vacation finished for you? Did you recognize how fast did you imagine how fast is finishing the vacation and how long we have to work oh year. Oh year 165 days, maybe 330 days, something like that. Well, time to time vacation period, Christmas, New Year, but again, I'm streaming during the Christmas. I don't mind. I think I feel better than the celebration mood, because many people are streaming in that period, so vacation could be a few days. I think the best way is during the winter just to go to some exotic country. Could be not super exotic, could be just simple Dubai, but it's still some warm feelings during the winter. Okay, knight takes b3 is not so good. A takes b3, this is happening in my, I'm not joking, this was happening 2 times in my previous OTB tournament. So I knew already that a takes b3 followed by b4 push. Deflecting these 2 pieces is the best strategy of white. b3, bishop takes c5, b4 or knight f3. I think knight f3 was a better move order, and here directly bishop b5. Probably again the move order could be a very important in this case. After pin, I wanna even come here. That's a very deep pin. We have a pin, so pawn e5 is under pin, knight on c6 is, or maybe most of all the knight on d7 is also under pin. And this is quite good situation, attacking the bishop e the knight. So maybe my move like b4 is not that fantastic here. I was analyzing a little bit the position before that. Knight f3. I just remembered the plan with the knight d4, so I moved there. E takes d4. So this is already not so good for Nikola. I told you where black could improve that. Queen b6 is a wrong approach in London's system in this scenario. Knight takes d4, pawn takes d4, e7. I wasn't sure why he used to play king e7. Every time it's good to make a castle in this situation, because my king is also still in the center, so it's gonna cost me time to move away the bishop and then move out. I could increase the pressure, but after f6 again, this pawn chain, black will keep some pressure on e5 and will not take a fast decision. Probably rook e8, and now I can simply go for castling. Alright, but there are about plenty of situations what we can push ourselves to calculate. We do that. First deflect the knight. So it's a +1 for white, but let's say it's not so clear. I simply take on e5. I'm not sure I was alright. Yes, I was alright. Okay, knight takes e5. And now the problem is when you don't have f6, boom, d5 become isolated pawn. That's not so great. After d5 is isolated pawn, we can in advance fix that pawn. That's mean full control of d4 square. Otherwise black will be able a little bit later to push and capture b4. So I have to somehow prevent that. Seems like the best move here, I think I remember very well here, it cost me about 3 minutes to check out which move order I have to use. Otherwise he's also ready to step here and eliminate my bishop pair. Or at least after bishop takes d3 he can simply block out the kingside castle. I didn't wish so much to go to the queenside castle, so maybe here the questions to the chat, if somebody is not sleeping or more than me, will be which side of castling I should go for, or maybe even not castling, maybe some activity of the king. So now is a +1 for white. Computer didn't like my move. After that move, I make the position pretty even. I thought, oh, what I need is fixing that square, seems like natural. But actually black is still able to push. Let's explain why. Because after the most natural knight takes d4, what's going on here, chat? I saw that in the game, and I said, what? And that's why my knight takes e5 is not really great. Why knight takes d4 is forbidden here? Do you have any idea? I think so. It's a pretty clear reason why my knight takes d4 doesn't work. Bishop g5, yes, exactly. That's a huge problem. This is the first reason why I didn't wish to go to the queenside castling. This was terrible, chat. It was terrible. Terrible tactics on the way. And if I'm not supposed to take with the knight, what the hell I'm doing? So if pawn takes, come on, that king is totally naked. So he's going to crush me. So in 2 moves, I put my position into the trash mood. I call this trash mood. Not chess mood, like we have a website like that. I put my position into the trash mood. Yes. So rook h d8, bishop d3. So there we go. This was the game. He probably didn't check out d4, but this is the moment where you have to definitely respect, huge respect of the bishop pair. But let's check out what was the most correct continuation, because here I spent 3 minutes and I take a super wrong decision to eliminate the knight. Like the thought of me was knight f3 gonna be forcing way. It's okay. I feel good here. Actually not, because even I don't have time to move away the bishop. I guess still d4 is a pretty powerful, yes. So however I take, look at these pawns, 3 isolated pawns, very ugly position. So don't go there, don't go to destroy yourself. Don't go to broke out yourself like that, because this will be in advance very, very ugly position. Step on my neck, second rank. Attack me here, attack me everywhere. Alright, so let's go back and looking for the best opportunity for white side here. This is one of the most important moments for white side after my bad move, my bad decision to take the knight. With this I kill my own bishop pair without reasons, without special reason. What could be better opportunity for white side now? You can check out separately rounds in YouTube, by the way. Hey Sir Thomas, huge thanks, deep appreciated. Cheers. I'm drinking too much tea tonight. Tonight. This morning, I mean. I don't know, I put 5-6 things inside. And now we're gonna see the reaction. I like honey. Bulgaria is very famous with the traditional food like dutenica, yogurt, shopska salata, honey, home prepared honey. We have all over the country home prepared honey. In Dubai, one of the most expensive, like this little piece of, this is a huge piece, but if you got it, this half piece could cost over 30 euros, something like that. And in my country, simple 5 euros, something like that. And pretty high quality too. It's a home prepared. So honey is one of the specific products what is common in my country. Bees are very healthy animals though. One bite me on the Black Sea and it's hurting so much. I'm not sure if it was bee or the other one, but it's hurting so much. I just step on it and it bites me. Alright, if you're white guys, how you should continue here? I'm waiting for fresh suggestions. I spent 3 minutes and I took the wrongest decision in my life to take the knight. Don't do this at home. Don't do this at home. I'll be glad if you give me any guessing. If not, I'm gonna keep going with the candidates, because as much as possible candidates you're gonna give me, there is a bigger chance to find out the correct continuation. I'm gonna waiting for a while. you know guys? Hey, good morning Towerage, happy to see you. You know guys, you play better than me. Oh, by the way, Sabotasho, I move you to the team, please be ready. So Amazonkas are ready for the sub battle on Thursday. You have to play for us. Currently I don't see. Maybe Brazilian beast confirmed, but I have to check out if how will be the rating of. We're gonna play 2 games so far. Brazilian beast, its current rating is his current sub in the other hand, but the real Brazilian beast, sorry. Hey Taborich, how are you doing, man? By the way, you play much better than me. He's 1471. 71. I think it's hard to He's a little bit out of the category already. We accept Natush, so Okay, so Pistachio has to be ready though. I don't see anybody else who could take his sit. Oh, the other one is Taborich if he would like to play. I'd be very, very glad to accept him. Yeah. Currently we fill the team. Our list is ready. Ready. Right. One more time, you play much better than me in the game. Knight b3. Move number 1 by engine is a bishop b2. Yeah, there we go. And move number 2 is a knight b3. Let me know if Taborich is able to play this. I have to update the command. Battle. So, we already had somebody for 1416. 1314 was the rating range, what we're looking for. One player to blockade d5. Exactly. But I already checked out several scenarios how d4 was working. I was worried even about that move. It seems like this is much better. This is much better to exchange bishop for bishop, not taking not bishop for the knight. Of course, I simply take. If there is a knight d3, I can also simply take. This is the line what I was worried about, that I'm gonna stay here. But now queenside castle is much better. No more this checkmate patterns what have been ever possible before. Yeah, I'll be glad if Taborich play for us. It's a 8 p.m. set on Thursday. You still have time to think about. Currently we play 2 games, 3 plus 2. It will be automatic 1 by 1, so don't worry if we start on time. In general, the sub battle is a very, very short already, because we start the games automatically. Automatically means 1 by 1, very, very fast. You just click rematch. After finishing the game, you have white and black pieces to not cry anymore. I think it's more fair. So I plan that sub battle gonna continue maximum 1 hour, the whole sub battle. So it's not so much. If we start at 8 p.m. set, cannot promise, because sometimes some people didn't come of my team or opponent's team. So this is already a pretty powerful. That's why I was curious why he moved the king there. Now queenside castle could be excellent. Okay, move like bishop d3 we can simple analyze. There is a very easy continuation. Eliminate the knight, take here, in between, sufficient took, and boom, extra piece. Of course this doesn't work. Thank you, Mr. King. Thank you. You can follow the all games one more time here, but they're not analyzed. We just play a match. I separate them to the rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so knight b3 was number 2 of the engine, quite good move, followed by queenside castling. Bishop b2 is number 1. Why? We have to play simple chess. Because if bishop outside here, he could be under attack. Here is not a free square, here is not a free square, and definitely I should go for the castling. What's happened after knight d3? So we can check out the same continuation. Bishop takes d3, nothing new. He's not able to take here because I'm gonna take the other bishop, so everything looks like pretty falling way. Again, queenside castle cannot be a bad move. In the end of this line, we're gonna still fight against this pawn. After d4, comparing to the position before, we have a discover and boom. When they're about pair of bishops, like happening in the game, it was pretty dangerous. He had in every single moment pushing of d4. One time we eliminate the bishop pair, like this case, we exchange bishop for bishop, white is already better. So now this game gonna be much better to the end. Bam bam bam, knight b3 fixing knight d4, and you can dance on the board. You can relax and attack this pawn much later. Also, knight is having a pretty comfortable outpost, either c5, either a5. Of course, knight is more flexible here comparing to the bishop. Position is opened. In general, bishop has to be, some people will say bishop is stronger. I'm a bit agree with you guys, but isolated pawn is a huge factor in this case. Huge factor. What Black definitely should care about. So this is a very bad forcing line. Why forcing? Because if Black didn't step on d3, let's say he's going to support the knight like f6, I simply go for castling. By the way, this is still under pressure. I have moves like rook a5. I have moves like rook d1. Rook q1 is also possible, so I can do everything. Again, I can do knight b3 fixing that, so I don't need to hurry up. If Black hurry up to push d4, I cannot take, or I can. No, I cannot take because of knight d3, and this will be again very ugly pawn structure. Again, I can do castle if there is a d3, nothing to worry about, because this pawn in advance gonna be weak. I have enough minor pieces to block out the pawn and operate around. Something like that. So, rook e1, rook d1, again this pawn will be very weak in advance. So, bishop e2 was the best. This was happening in the game. He didn't push d4, didn't find out that move, and I was hurry up to play bishop d3 automatically. e1, a5. To be fair, I overestimate that plan. But he has a good counterattack there. c2, not so great. I knew that d4 was coming. h3, probably wasting of time. So if I wanted to play, I was even asking myself why I didn't play g4 directly. He's still having moves like g6, I know, but it's a kind of space now. I don't know what's supposed to be my plan. Maybe bishop f1, bishop h3, and simple take the bishop. I already lost my advantage, this is the problem, so I didn't have a clear plan, and already with 2 minutes on the clock, it's hard to generate a plan again. Four, 6, 5, this is happening in the game. By the way, this game continue 60 moves. Now move 20, I have 20 seconds. Move 25, I have 20 seconds. That's quite bad. I think after my last move, I already did a isolated pawn by myself. A little bit later have been drawn. Draw. I told you I had 20 seconds. So here it's already very hard. It's impossible to generate a plan when you have 20 seconds because you will simply lose the game on time. I could operate with the bishop here, but I think this doesn't anymore help so much. I was worried about that Black is able to push this, either this. So maybe I was checking out b4. So if I capture here, I was super worried about that, and I didn't see any solution. King d6 and bishop f5 is also coming to me. I'm not sure I was able to find out now that move. It's like barrier, block out the bishop, covering b2. It is possible. It is possible. Yeah, b4 is definitely... King f8 is a quite flexible game. Free the bishop, being able to give me check. And check is really dangerous against me. Again, b4 is coming, followed by rook a2, and I'll be in trouble. But definitely the maneuver like bishop f1 and knight d4 was much better to keep my pawn structure solider, stable. I didn't see that, so knight d4 immediately, and now, to be fair, I will start thinking about draw. At the beginning, I thought my king is quite safety on b3, and it's gonna be super position for me. So if I'm able to bring my king to b3, and he has this weakness forever there, I thought I was better. But let's note something in advance. Okay, I push here. No, he pushed here. I realized that after king b3, for instance, if I try to stay there forever, nobody could touch me. That's not real true. He simply played king d6, bishop d7, now asking me where to go. I guess I have to bring the king back and so on. So I couldn't figure out what to do against bishop d7 here. I can simply move away here, but it's hard to calculate on 10 seconds on the clock that this is not going to be a checkmate. Probably I can evacuate the king back, but I didn't have time to calculate that. I thought it's quite risky to go to b3. Seems like it's not so much. Seems like it was the best decision. I push here to breakthrough and maybe eventually generate a pass pawn on h. I think I was lost this game totally. You bring the rook here and fantastic sacrifice in front of black. Boom. Here, take. It will be simple exchange. It will be simple exchange with the extra pawn on f5. That's why I was hurry up to capture on g6. fg, and by the way, yeah, after I thought after rook f1 he can simply also take here, and now this kind of forky and eventually losing that. Maybe c2, maybe not. Alright, so rook f1 was the playable move, and because if he takes h3, I want to take back that with some little counter attack. This sacrifice now is not really working so well. If I don't sacrifice this rook, I will simply lose the other one. So after pawn takes, we simply bring the king here. And now black is worse. So any simple wrong decision. So king e7 probably is the best currently, and now I can do a few checks. I think this position is harder for white, to be fair, because black could do everything. This move is losing because soon I cannot really cover that pawn. So easy. I was pushing h5, let's show you why. Because after king c2, of course I saw a move like bishop a4. And now the drama is starting. Black is threatening this. Double check, discover check. Very nice setup. And I don't really have a move. If king d2, he simply take here. And in advance, not that it's completely winning, but we have same colors of bishops and this rook endgame is supposed to be lost. Also, I have another backward weakness. This is well protected, but mine is not, and he's able to push in advance. Simply maybe deflect this bishop, could be bishop c2, either bishop d7, bishop f5, and guarantee pushing of the pawn to the end. So quite bad situation after rook b3. I didn't know what to do. c1, some computer move. Okay, push h5 was some hope, and he take that decision. I'm not sure why he's attacking me now. And now with the 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock, and white is having 11 seconds on the clock, why he hurry up to take this decision? So he has to be quite sure that this endgame in advance, he has to be quite sure that this is winning. And actually, if we take some notes in advance that we finish by draw, seems like not. This is not the winning variation for black. I was curious why he came here and why he didn't wish to take here. This is one of the way. And actually the second point is, why not simple g takes h5 if I'm still not able to cover the pawn either this way losing the bishop, either this way again losing the pawn. I have zero counterattack. I was just hoping for counterattack. Rook f1 again didn't really save up the pawn. If there's a king c1, counterattack like rook b3 again gonna save up the pawn in two ways. King c7, either bishop e6. My hope was to capture f7 and get an advance pass pawn. But the problem is I can never take f7 in my life. So h pawn, pass pawn, b pass pawn, the game is over for white side. So he could play simple chess after my... We could even call this like in poker, bluffing, totally bluffing. h5 bluffing. After my bluffing, he didn't accept the pawn. I have no idea why. We should ask him. So he has to play, he has to take simple decisions in the side note. Another wrong strategy currently could be why black didn't capture the pawn. He He was trying to play for a time. Maybe he thought I'm able to lose on time. Yes, probably several times I move my pieces on the seconds on the clock, but if the player against you is enough experienced like me, and enough good bullet player to play on time, to play to win by time is a very, very wrong strategy. Let's explain why. Because then you start playing with the tempo of your opponent, and when you play with the tempo of your opponent, you're supposed to make more mistakes. Rush playing, touching the pieces, clicking with the mouse for some seconds. This is all the time connected with the blundering, with the not enough good calculations. How you're supposed to find out a decision or take a good solution or select the best ever candidate's move for some seconds. It's not working. So I have currently in my mind 3 candidates, even 4. I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. Oh, 5, because both rooks could capture on b2. Don't overestimate that. Probably could be the same, but maybe it's not. Because if rook a takes b2, you can either exchange maybe both rooks on the b file. But of course, both rooks on the second rank, like rook b takes b2, is all the time preferable. Just step on second rank. So I have in about 4 candidates. He take a decision for about 6 seconds. Just 6 seconds for 4 candidates, this is not enough. Okay, let's say bishop f5 is not so great. Doubling the pawns make me h pawn, so you can automatically delay that though. Okay, 3 more moves. This, either this, either this. 3 of them are very exciting. 3 of them are very, very exciting. If rook takes bishop, he did that during the game, but he could do this even here. So why you should waiting for my pawn to be here? Makes no sense. The problem with rook takes d3 is too much simplification. So you have to think in advance, even if you get the chance to go for the rook endgame with pawn up, that's not winning. That's not winning. Keeping the bishops on the board keep your chances to win the game. So, simple decision after g take h5, this tactic is still working and I cannot escape. I can escape by this way, but I'm already a pawn down and the second pawn is coming too. 2 pawns down. Bishops are still on the board, but 2 pawns down. The third one is coming, I guess. So the game is over. To take simple decision like capture here. My bluffing was working and I survived soon by draw. This rook endgame, I cover b2, very weak point. And in advance I have this simple counter attack. King e6, rook f6. 6, c8, d3, b3, take here, here, push. I was trying, of course, when you have a pawn down, you have to try to simplify as much as possible. You have to try to go for a simple position just with a pawn down. I mean, when you're piece down, or when you're pawn down in the middle game part, there is a rule like please don't exchange pieces to go to any losing endgame. But the completely losing endgame could be when the completely losing endgame could be after you simplify, but you go to the bishop endgame, or you go to the knight endgame, or you go to the heavy, super heavy pieces endgame. This could be completely losing. Here I have to exchange because rook endgame with pawn down, quite losing. Rook b5, rook g2. And now I remember Wegener or somebody else was mentioned during the game. Rook takes b3 was draw, but I had 20 seconds and I wasn't sure. Maybe I was lazy to calculate. But of course this is the most simplest draw. He gave me this pawn very fast. He could actually try to win the game. Let's show you later. But I think I'm not sure here what's going on after king f6. So maybe pushing the G pawn immediately, I was sure that I'm in the square of the pawn, how to calculate it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so after it's a black's turn, you have to realize after he push if you're able to be in the square of the pawn. Calling square of the pawn. But the line, what I wasn't sure is if he's able to generate a barrier. So in my eyes, this is a very complicated line if he comes here. I tried to go to the square of the pawn, king f5, king d3, king f4. And now he's able to guarantee space for the pawn. So I wasn't sure now if this is okay. Yeah, probably gonna be simple draw. If g5, just white is faster, of course. 1, 2, no, makes no sense to g pawn. So seems like simple after you already are able to spend more than 10 seconds for this kind of endgame. So king e5, we simply come here, bam bam bam, opposition, theoretical draw, just go straight. Alright. I was curious why he donated me that pawn so fast. If he was able, as you see, he's still having more than 2 minutes on the clock. What's mean that? He was able to calculate it. Me, not so much. So if I'm black, I could vote more for a move like that and pushing immediately. So if king c3 now, rook b1. Now again, I have to calculate if this is okay for me, but king is already here. So maybe now makes more sense for black to go for that immediately. King c3, king f5, king d3. And now, again, if g4, I'm in the square of the pawn. If king f4, this is the approach to promote it. But again, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. So I hurry up to deflect the king and easy draw again to stay in front of the pawn. So even that approach didn't work, but I think he could try to push this one. Otherwise king c3 and I simply take this one. The other counterattack was directly here, but I'm not able to step here, so he first attacked me and taking here, coming here. It's again pretty simple draw. Now the counterattack of white is connected with the pushing of d pawn again. There we go, stop that, push, stop that, push, and we promote at the same time. Again, draw. So I was showing you several rook and pawn endgames, but the endgame in the game was more complicated. I did a wrong move, definitely. King e4, he push, check, and now seems like black is better. Black is better. Again, he was having time, he was having an extra pawn, so I think few zigzag to put me in a Zugzwang. Where is this Zugzwang? You're gonna be wondering why and where. Here is the Zugzwang. Because if I'm supposed to give him check after king c5, I can shake his hand. Bam, bam, barrier wherever I go. There is a check and rook b4. The game is over for white. So if I let him to come to the pawn, also this is quite losing. So rook b6 was a huge blunder. Right now, I'm in Zugzwang. I have no move. So king f3, he simple could run away here. If I bring the king back, I can try, I think, to push g pawn. So I wasn't sure how exactly I'm supposed to defend here. King d3. Maybe I could go for this pawn. If I take, this is losing. I have to come back. He's able to push here. Maybe it's draw. Maybe it's draw. But with a precise playing by... yeah. Precise playing by white. So there's some tricks. Rook d4, king g3, now I keep pressure of that, keep pressure of that. Something similar happened to our girls on Olympiad yesterday against Ukraine. Rook and game with pawn down, similar like that. and she couldn't hold on draw. She lost. Okay, Nikola, try. Give me a check, another check here. Yeah, again, I didn't realize that the fastest draw gonna be king c3, but now king d6. Now I have to go back. Now it's forbidden to take. I'm lost already. Alright, check here, check, check, and this was the draw. Yeah. So now I was worried about that after check here, and if he came here, for instance, rook b5, he's able to push g5 because my king is already cut. I'm able to attack his rook again. This keeping of the pressure of b2 led me now to, I don't know, to bring the king to that pawn. And if I win g5, supposed to be draw. Actually, my rook, if I have enough free moves by the king on the right side part of the board, I don't need to worry about left side of the board because this is excellent barrier. This is barrier generated by rook and pawn only against the black king. So he cannot really cross 5th rank so easy. And I'm supposed to attack him here, I guess. Like that. Be easy draw. Another try of black could be when I capture, there's a king e5. I think I can have risk with the pawn. In some moment, not now. He can try to support his passed pawn. This is not the risk for black. This is the problem. Black is having a draw in every single moment. So I think so Nikola could try those plans to sacrifice g-pawn to eliminate my king and somehow walk around with his king to support his passed pawn. Because now, again, I have to be very, very careful what I'm doing. He's losing already. I have only one way to make a draw. Check. About perpetual. Here. Do that. Here. King c1. And if there is a barrier like that, I can simply take already because we promote at the same time. And in the end of promotion, there is no skewer, there's nothing. But yeah, here also white has to be careful. Every pushing of d pawn could be losing. There's a king b1, then I have time for d7 and still being behind his pawn. So there is no successful barrier for him because I also have advanced d pawn and I have to vote more for perpetual check. Seven. So the idea of rook d2 is if this pawn is not existing, want to give me a check and make this barrier. But currently is not having time. D7 is losing with a simple reason he could simply take. That's why I have to give him checks forever and go behind. Check forever and go behind. Correct approach to make a draw by a white side. Okay, so I was going a little bit deeper just to check out all the opportunities, all the chances for the both pieces. Hope so you like round one.